everyone. Welcome to the show. Another great edition of Bring It in the House. This is the podcast show that spotlights musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. I'm your host, Millie Mills. Welcome. We're so excited because tonight in the house, woo, the man who created the song for the show. He's from Alabama, guys. Let's give it up for musician. Let's get it right. Music producer, engineer, Mr. Elijah Pugh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, man.
I'm doing well. I'm in Mexico City right now, so for work.
Wow, what an interesting career, which we're going to get into all of that just in a minute here. First of all, I'd like to shout out to your hometown, your native city, which is
Montgomery, Alabama.
All right.
But I'm living and loving Memphis right now, though.
You love the M town. Yeah. Yeah, I lived there for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you left, because I love Memphis. I don't want to leave Memphis.
A lot of historical moments, a lot of heritage culture and stuff in Memphis. It is. But I kind of want to, learn a little bit more, get around a little bit. I'm going to explore, but enough about me. It's all about you tonight. So you're originally from Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah.
And you went to Tuskegee College.
Yes. I got my engineering or chemical engineering degree from Tuskegee University. So didn't go very far from home for college. But I had to be close to the food source.
Of course. Wow. So I'm gonna take it back to old school. So to major in chemical engineering, you have to be pretty smart.
I'd say you have to be pretty diligent. I think anybody. I would say anybody could do it, but I wouldn't suggest anybody study it unless you really want to do it. Because it's definitely not an easy major. But I think if you dedicate enough time and energy to trying to learn the material, anybody can definitely do it. I mean, felt like I lost a little bit of time off my life with the stress, but it's all worth it in the end.
I know it was very rewarding. So it requires a lot of math, right? A lot of equations.
A lot of math, a lot of science, and but I mean, I'd say a lot of the math and science I haven't used in my career, so I feel like most of it is. I mean, I understand the technical aspect of the industry, different industries, but I think it teaches you more how to problem solve. So you can take these complex equations that may not even use numbers and figure out how to solve it based on different rules and concepts. And that's essentially what you use in engineering in your job. And then also with music, it's very similar because you're taking some kind of concept and you problem solve on how to put it together to make something that sounds good. So
amazing.
It all works hand in hand.
Okay. Because I was interested in, how the two kind of run parallel. You as a music producer, you produce tracks, and then, I guess you're a music producer by night and then an engineer by day. Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved music. I remember I still have an external hard drive with about 30,000 songs on it. And I mean, the genres range from classical music to electronic to hip hop to R&B to all kinds of music. So I think the only music genre I haven't quite got into is country, but everything else, I love everything. And so, I mean, I had dabbled with wanting to, like, I had an idea, especially when Fruity Loops first came out, or FL Studio is what it's called now. But I had always like wanted to kind of get into it. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stop thinking about it and I'm just going to do it. And so I just dove headfirst into it. I mean, I downloaded the software. Actually, I started with another software first because I was like, I'm not going to spend the money until I know I'm going to dedicate myself to it. So I started with this free program and I made a ton of tracks with that. I had them on SoundCloud, but I took them all down because they were like very, very just. I mean, I appreciate them because it was where I started, but but yeah, it was like that was where I started. Then I moved over to FL Studio, and that's
Mhm.
where I really started to hone my skills in producing. And like I said, it's more so I'd say the engineering side allowed me to kind of problem solve on how to navigate the software to produce the music and how to actually start putting things together and to increase my workflow and be organized within, the software itself. I think that kind of helped me. The engineering side helped me better manage that so it just wasn't all over the place. So
Okay, and let me make sure I heard you right. You say it's called FL. And what does that stand for
F
again?
Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops. And what is that exactly?
So
I never
that's
heard.
so that's the DAW I use. So every producer uses some kind of DAW, which is uh what does DAW stand for? It's something. It's work. It's a workstation, but it's essentially every music producer has to use some kind of software to actually develop the music. So
God.
FL Studio is one. Ableton is another one. Uh, Man, I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Logix is another one. That's an
Gosh.
Apple-based one. Uh, Let me see. There's quite a bit of them out there now. But essentially the DAW is what is the software you use to actually produce the music. And so the my DAW of choice is FL Studio. Um,
Studios.
so
Amazing. I just went to class for a little bit there. Man, that's interesting because the way they used to produce music in back in the day, old school compared to now, I'm sure it's day and night. It's been a minute since I've been in the studio, but
mhm.
it's amazing to hear all these terms that you're talking. I'm like, what is that?
And like, I mean, I think also I geek out with the technology sometimes.
Yeah.
Just really getting into all the different things you can do with the music. And
Hmm.
I mean, within the software, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of things you can do within the software itself.
Hmm.
So, it's fun. I like the learning process of really digging into it. So,
Yes, yes. And you do an awesome job. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, this is Elijah Pugh. He's a music producer and he's a chemical engineer. So he's like an engineer in the day and a music producer by night. This guy is extremely talented. And I met you through one of my, I guess, constituents in the media field, Christy Taylor, when we were putting, Christy and Tina Tilton and Memphis were integral parts or roles. They play serious roles in helping me get this together because if it was left up to me, I was a little apprehensive about doing a podcast show because I'm very shy. But they kind of pushed me. And once they gave me that push, here I am, woo, I took off, but so they asked me about a theme song and I was like, well, I know I like something with a beat that's driving. I know that. And so Christy said, I know I got someone in mind who can do this for you. And I was like, okay, well, I can't wait to meet him or her. And she said, it's a he. He's right here in Memphis. And she told me your name was Elijah. And of course, she gave me your contact info. And then when I called, your spirit was so, angelic, like you always are. And I said, "Oh my gosh, this is a true musician." Because a lot of them, I kind of noticed how Prince, he was kind of like that when we got a chance to see him in his work mode. He was very laid back and just he just lets it's like you guys just let the creativity just come in and take over. Yeah, so
yeah,
it's just a
yeah,
pleasure to get a chance to meet you. I mean, I know we talked on the phone, but I got a chance to really see you in kind of like in person here on the screen, moving around. So this is great, guys.
yes.
This is the man who produced the theme song to the show, Bring It in the House. And we're going to play a little snippet I found. Hey, guys, I'm going to tell you this here. Go ahead and if you can, go to his YouTube channel, click that subscribe button, because you're going to hear all kind of tracks. This man, I won't be surprised if you land some theme songs for some movies and some shows or something, or TV series, because you really have some interesting tracks. I had to give it to you. You really
Thank you,
do.
thank you. I love all genres, so I mean, I always try to. I mean, people say you should focus on one thing, but I mean, I like. I mean, I just go with where the music leads me, and if it's more of like an orchestral track, I'll do that. Which I like more orchestral tracks and like mixing like hip hop and different types of things and that. But yeah, I just love music. I love all music, and it's just amazing to I think it's amazing to see how you go from, like I said, when I use my software, a
Mhm.
blank screen with nothing on it, and then later on you have this full track and all this music that came out of you, and I think that's like the most amazing thing.
I know it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a listen to the theme song of the show, Bring It in the House, and it's called Dancing Flowers, right?
Yes.
All right. I love it. I really love this track. I really do.
Oh, I can't hear it, Melly.
You can hear it. I wonder can anybody hear it? I can hear it.
I heard it in when you played the intro.
I hope the listeners can hear it. Guys, that was the audio to Bring It in the House. The theme song is Dancing Flowers. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, because Elijah just shared with me that he could not hear it. Hopefully it recorded, um, it's in this segment with us here. I hope so. You couldn't hear it at all on your end? No?
I couldn't hear it. No.
You can hear it. Okay. Well, we'll come back around and we'll see if we can play it again. But we got more questions for you in the meantime. So, you are an engineer at Ford Motor Company. Tell us a little bit about that role.
So I am. So actually, after I finished with my chemical engineering degree, I realized I didn't want to do chemical engineering. So I knew I loved cars and I loved engineering. So my dream job was working at Ford. And so that was the company I wanted to work for. So basically at my job at Ford, I haven't been at Ford the entire time. I'm actually back at Ford. I left Ford after 3 years and then came back to Ford 3 years later. But basically, I'm a manufacturing engineer, and my responsibility is the different equipment within the manufacturing plant. And so I basically plan out what needs to be put into the plant when a new model comes out. And so then myself and a team of other engineers, we come in, we update the plant with the new tools, and then to allow the plant to build the new car. And of course, every year a new car model comes out. So every year we're constantly planning to update plants to build new cars. So in a nutshell, without going into the details, that is
Right.
essentially what I do.
Right. Well, it sounds very interesting, I'm sure. I'm sure when you're driving down the road, like I'm really digging that crossover Mustang you guys recently did.
The Mach-E.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
so
what it is?
I'm currently in
Excuse me.
Mexico City where we built that car.
Wow.
So that's a project I'm working on currently is that car. So my equipment in particular is the fluid fill equipment. So any fluid that goes in your car, my equipment essentially is what puts it in the car. So it basically has to fill the car with your brake fluid, your coolant, your washer fluid, your AC, and it has to be able to fill it while the line is moving and while cars are back to back. So that's my equipment in particular, and that's what I'm installing here in Mexico City for the Mustang Mach-E. the electric Mustang.
That is amazing. I had no idea. Of course I
Yeah.
would. Man, so much talent. So, which one do you prefer? I'm sure I'm going to already know the answer, but I know you love what you do it for. But if you had a choice, music or
I would definitely do music. I mean, I like my job at Ford, but I do like I love music. I mean, and to be able to do that full time would be amazing. Um, I mean, I say that now, but there's always that risk of, turning it into a job, and then it's not as fun anymore when it
yeah,
becomes a job.
yeah,
So, in theory, it sounds nice, but if I actually did it, would I actually enjoy just doing that? I'm not sure. Because in order to make money, I mean, you have to produce, and you have a customer like always, and you have to produce what the customer wants. So I know that can add a lot of stress to the creative process. So,
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But when I guess yeah, it can express like deadlines and things like that. And then
hmm
sometimes if you're very competitive, I think it adds stress if you're trying to,
and I'm
out.
extremely
Yeah.
and I'm extremely competitive.
Yeah, I could see where, where that would come into play. When you were younger, did you know like in grade school or high school, my throat is really scratching. I'm sorry about that. But in grade
That's
school or
okay.
high school, were you playing instruments then? Were you preparing for this?
When I was younger, I played the piano, and I kind of regret stopping, because I've always been fairly good at like hearing music and like being able to play by ear.
Hmm.
And when I remember when I was taking piano, and also I'm really good at copying. So like as far as
Yeah.
like I can see something, and then I can teach myself how to do it just by watching.
Hmm.
And so when when my teacher would teach me new songs, she would get mad at me because I would just memorize all the fingering of where my fingers were supposed to go, and I could play the music, but I wasn't reading the music. So she's like, "No, read the music," and I'm like, "I'm trying to read the music, but my hands already know what to do, so I don't have to read the music." So I've always been pretty good at like just hearing and having an
Yeah.
ear for music and
Yeah.
being able to kind of like put different things together, which helps with producing.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I played the trumpet in junior high school. So
Oh,
I always had some kind of instrument.
okay. You play trumpet and piano. Look at you. Look at you.
Yeah,
And you also have another love. You like I see you on your
cycling.
Facebook page and you're a cyclist, right? You ride bikes, you
Yeah,
skateboard, you do a lot of you're very athletic, should we say.
yeah. I like to be active. I like being outside. So cycling is probably like that's my the biggest thing. I mean, I actually race bikes. So that's a big part of my life is cycling. It's a great stress reliever. I mean, just seeing the world on a bike is a lot different than, just driving around. And you can get further on a bike.
Yeah, you know what? Because you can go into places that a car can't get into those little areas. I got you.
Exactly. I have my bike here in Mexico City, so I ride around the city on my bike.
Oh, that must be fun. And look at you right here.
Oh yeah, I snowboard. That was when I lived in Chicago for a little bit, and I picked up snowboarding, and I went deep into snowboarding. I bought like two snowboards. I went like maybe 30 times snowboarding that year. So snowboarding is another I mean, when I left Chicago, I moved to Detroit, and then after I moved to Detroit, I moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and it kind of died off there because it was a lot harder to get to any kind of mountains out there. So wasn't able to do as much snowboarding. So I would love to get back to snowboarding when I make some time. But yeah, that was another activity that I fell in love with.
Yes, yes. Well, I've never done, I've never had that privilege yet, but I always want to just try it out.
You gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Yeah, I'm just now I'm kind of afraid I don't want to break anything, at this age.
Uh, I would say if you're gonna do it, go out west where the snow is nice and fluffy, and you won't break anything.
Okay, that's good
Now,
advice.
if you go somewhere nearby, you're probably gonna get little small hills that are probably 90% ice. I wouldn't start there.
Okay,
Just
so
go out west to the
go
nice
out west.
stuff
Okay,
and
all
enjoy
right.
the nice fluffy snow.
Yay! I'm gonna have to do that, one day soon too. Maybe sometime later in the year. I'm gonna have to try that out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the season doesn't end till like April.
Yeah. So that's a good time to start planning for it. And then I
Exactly.
was also reviewing your profile. You have a beautiful wife. Not only are you successful with your career and successful with music as well, all your talent. You have a beautiful wife. She's my sorority sister. Yeah. So I'm like, oh wow. So let's show everyone your beautiful wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
I don't know why she picked me, but I got lucky.
You guys make a lovely couple. Come on now. Look at that. Beautiful. Very beautiful couple. Hmm. Yeah. So where did you guys meet?
In kindergarten. So,
I love those
yeah, so
stories. I
we've
love
known each
stories.
other. We grew up together and we've known each other all our life. But yeah, we were in a lot of our parents are really good friends, and we were
Mhm.
always in the same kind of social groups. We were both part of Jack and Jill in Alabama. And
Oh,
so we actually didn't start dating till after I graduated college and I was working for Ford. I was living in Chicago and she was in law school in Wisconsin. And I had been asking to date her for a while and she kept saying I wasn't ready, I wasn't ready. And then finally she gave me a chance in when I was living in Chicago and she was in Wisconsin. And the rest is history.
that's his
And
history.
yeah, and
That's
so
good.
now, as I told you before, we got some good news now, which is a little one on the way.
Wow! Congrats! Congratulations! Do you know the
Thank
gender
you.
yet?
It's a girl. It's a
It's
girl.
a oh, congratulations! Oh, I know she's gonna be spoiled. Daddy's little girl.
I know. I know.
This is so beautiful. You're first, right? You guys first.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's so wonderful. And how long have you guys been married? A
Four
long
years.
4 years.
4 years.
That's good.
Yes.
That's really good. That is so wonderful. I know you guys are ready, excited. I know your
Yes.
parents are excited.
Yes.
Everybody's
Very
excited.
excited. They're very excited.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And she's probably oh wow, your wife's a lawyer, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh wow. So she could fall anywhere in between a lawyer, entertainment or an engineer. She could oh
I
wow.
know. And my
Brilliant
wife was she's an athlete as well, so hoping to get some athletic genes in her too.
in there too. Yeah. She might become a gymnast or something. You never
I
know.
know.
That is so good, man. So you got all of this going for you, Elijah. What's next? What can we expect? I mean, any big
Uh,
announcements?
I mean, beyond her, that's probably the biggest thing right now.
Biggest right now.
And um, I have some projects that I'm working on with a few artists in Memphis. So right now, most of my focus has been on, preparing for my little girl who's coming in like a month and a half. But I know, but yeah, I haven't really had it. I don't really have anything that big on the horizon. Like I said, the main thing is just prepping for
This-
her.
yeah, that's big enough.
So yeah,
Have you guys named her? You got a name for her?
yeah. Her name is Josie,
Josie.
and her
Oh,
nickname is JoJo.
Jojo. Oh, That
Yeah.
is so cute, Josie. I get to see her now. I can just imagine all this hair. Can see
Yeah, she's already got a lot of hair. It's
it.
already in the
I can
womb. We've seen
definitely
it.
see.
Because my wife
Ladies,
has a lot of hair. And
yes, she does. And then you have lots of hair, and your wife has lots of hair, so she's gonna have a lot of hair. Man, we've been
yeah,
having a good time. Time is running out already, but
I know.
for those of you just joining me, we have Elijah Pugh. He's currently in the Memphis, Tennessee area, but this man is so talented. If anybody in the media and the music world is looking for tracks, hit him up. How can we contact you?
You can contact me by my email address. It's elipproductions@gmail.com.
Okay, let me put this in here. Productions@gmail.com. We'll put that on
And
the screen.
even when I travel, I always keep a little mini keyboard with me. So I'm always able to make music wherever I am, you
Wherever
know.
you are. Yep. Yeah. Sounds like a musician to me, a true one. Yep. Any shout outs to anyone before we go?
uh, shout out. I mean, of course, shout out to my wife who's put up with me and all my crazy hobbies. And just my friends and family, just overall, both in Memphis and in Alabama.
Mhm.
Just for, like I said, being such a great support and putting up with, like I said, my extreme hobbies and me wanting to do everything. So
Oh, what is your birthday? You sound like are you a Taurus?
I'm a Virgo,
You're
August
Virgo. Oh
29th.
yeah, yeah. Virgos. Yeah, they have a lot. They bring a lot.
Yes,
Very
yeah.
extremely talented. Yes, of course. How could we forget Virgos? Yes, they rule. Okay, and let's see. Was there anything else before we go? Oh yeah, you did share with me that you lost your puppy.
Yeah, lost a puppy, and unfortunately, my brother-in-law also, which is who actually helped in naming my daughter. So
Oh,
that's my little girl, Aisha.
oh. Well, of course, you have our condolences, and I'm so sorry for your loss. So your brother-in-law, your puppy. Her eyes are really pretty too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And what was her name again?
Her name was Aisha.
Aisha. Aisha. That's pretty. That's a pretty name. A little different. So again, guys, if you are looking for someone to produce tracks, if you got a movie or TV series, we're going to take a listen to one more of those before we go, because I hope that these sounds are coming across where everyone can hear it. But this one is called Your Life. Your Life. Let's play it. Let's take a listen. Can you hear that?
I can hear it faintly, but it might be playing through the audio. Maybe when you play it back, you'll hear it. Or you can put the link to the track.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. That is really nice. Oh, it's got my wheels turning like, maybe that's a track I could use. Hey, you know what? The theme show for the song you gave me, Dancing Flowers, is about to be 3 years old. So
I know.
I'm gonna need another track pretty soon.
Yeah, I gotta come up with something new though. You can't use that's the old stuff now. We gotta get something
Yeah,
new.
yeah. Well, but we had to get everybody familiar with it. So
hmm
that's why I held on to it for a while, because you know, just want to make sure that everybody's familiar with the song, and then I'm like, oh hey, now we can go with something else.
Okay.
Sorry, time is up, but it's been great, guys. We've been talking with Elijah. Elijah, don't forget the name. And then let's go ahead and put your YouTube channel name. Does it have a name, or is it one of those that has a lot of characters and things? Like some of them have
Well, it's
long name.
Eli. It's Eli P. But the at name is a little weird. I think it's like Eli P at Eli P like 2954.
Okay,
I gotta
294.
find it. But if you look up Eli P or Eli P Productions, you should find me
Let's
on
see.
YouTube.
Is that it?
I believe so. Oh, at Eli P 2954.
Okay, so it's an at in the front as well, the little ampersand.
Mm-hmm. But if you look up, like I said, Eli P Productions, you should be able to find me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start. I need to start, and I keep telling myself I need to start uploading to Spotify so I can have all my music on the streaming sites as well.
Yes. Okay, like that.
No at Eli P 2954.
Okay, no at in there. Let's take that one out.
Yes.
Make sure. Okay, there we go. We got it now. Thank you so much, Elijah, for coming and talking with me, spending time with us. It's been
no problem.
It's been great. It's been real. It's been really real. Congratulations to you and all your success. I'm so excited for you and your beautiful wife, Sarah. Let me see, put the pinky in there. And and your beautiful daughter, Josie, on the way in a month or so. I didn't realize it was so quick. So wow.
Yes.
Now I'm sure it's not quick for you guys, so but
yeah, well, it's been a journey.
Thank you all so much for tuning in to Bring It in the House. Our next guest will be Johnny Gage and Elaine Scaife. We'll be talking about I believe the annexation of Marvel Elaine School District is going to be here February. They'll be here February 4th on Bring It in the House. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.